Let's welcome in Rex Hoggard for the first time. Rex, your reaction to the news that shocked the golf world today.
George, you're right. It was shocking. I've had a chance to talk with quite a few players and some sources. A couple of things stood out to me. The first one is I was informed that at 9:30 this morning, that's when the PGA Tour senior staff were informed about this. So you get the idea of how this was moving along and that this was at the highest level of the PGA Tour as well as LIV Golf. And then as it applies to the players, I heard from a lot of players today, and I think it was a mixture of anger and confusion, a little bit of shock, and a couple of questions kept coming up. One, why did we end up here, was the one question that I got. It's just a matter of the PGA Tour realizing this was a fight that they probably couldn't win in the long term. Did it have something to do with the lawsuit that was ongoing in the U.S. District Court in Northern California? All of these are questions I'm sure that the commissioner, senior staff are going to hear this afternoon at 4 o'clock at the Canadian Open when they have the player meeting. And the other question that I got a lot from PGA Tour players is, what does this mean going forward? How exactly are the two entities going to fit together and create this new body? I think there's so many more questions right now than we have answers. And the other side of the coin was actually a little bit more fascinating to me. I actually spoke with a couple of LIV players, and as you can believe, they don't have any more details than the PGA Tour players have. Actually, they seem to have fewer details than the PGA Tour players have. And two things stood out. I had one LIV player tell me that, in quote, "I have prayed for the day that this would happen. This is something that they were looking forward to, that the two entities could come together." But broader, what does it mean as far as them going back? Both of the players I talked to said that there is a universe that they would love to come back and play just not the PGA Tour, but also the DP World Tour. But they both also pointed out there's some seriously hurt feelings, that on that side they have been demonized for the better part of a year, joining a tour, chasing the money, whatever the conversation was, and they feel like that they deserve at the very least some sort of apology.
Jaime, while you guys have been on the air today, I've been acting as a social media correspondent, reading the reactions on Twitter. You can imagine it's just explosive on golf Twitter right now. And one of the theories being floated is that once Augusta National allowed LIV players to play, that became a domino effect with the other major championships, and that sort of hastened this move, that it was going to be inevitable that some kind of a merger or allowance would happen because these players were allowed to play in major championships and performed well in the first two major championships of the year. Do you lend any credence to that conspiracy theory?
Well, I think the Masters has tremendous power and great judgment usually in terms of these big issues in the game, and so they're trusted. And it's easy to say that they set the agenda there, but I also think the antitrust suit had a chilling effect on anybody among the ruling bodies saying you can't play in our major, because that would have just given fuel to LIV in the court case. And losing that court case was a bigger issue than, letting some players into a major. I think the long-term strategy back before all this happened was just let's wait this out. They're not going to get world ranking points. It's going to be hard for them to qualify for majors. And while they have some good players, they're not going to get a chance to really have a sort of a global reach. And we have that, the PGA Tours, speaking for them. And let's hang on to that. That's held us in good stead. But I just think, the tour really did have a big burden to carry here going forward. I mean, certainly the court case was a big issue. The sponsors' objections perhaps to the new structure of the designated events. A lot of pressure on the tour that obviously they weren't talking about, but might have been felt more strongly than we knew.
Rich Lerner with us from L.A. Rich, you're not just a golf historian, but a sports junkie as well. To see the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia now have a joint partnership with the PGA Tour, how is that going to alter the landscape of U.S. sports going forward?
Well, they've been given the green light to invest and invest rather heavily into traditional golf. And I would think that's a signal to anybody who has an interest either in golf or in any other American sport. We will see a running of the bulls to get that money. There's no doubt about that. I think the other point that sticks out to me on this day is that Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Saudi Arabia as we speak, trying to bolster relations between the two countries on a number of fronts, economics, security, and any number of subjects in the geopolitical sphere. And it's tense and it's fraught and it's complicated at the moment. But it's not lost on anybody, coincidentally or not, that on that very same day that he is in Saudi Arabia trying to bolster those relations, Live Golf and the PGA Tour, who had been at odds, had been in a pitched battle for a long time, have made up and have come together and are now partners going forward.